April 1st. Fang and I have been together for a month now. And right now I'm gonna win our prank war. And fucking tickets to prom. Okay, wait. My mind wanders back to the idea of going to prom. I honestly don't feel like going. Maybe Fang will feel the same about skipping prom and just going to the beach or something. Hey Fang, something's off with Fang. She's gazing vacantly into space. Her worksheet lies untouched in front of her. Fang? I've decided. What? Verm Drama has a play for the school at prom. Don't worry about that. Trish called with the idea last night and I apologized. You apologized? Thinking about it again, leaving the band was something of an overreaction on my part. But Trish has been my friend for a long time, and I shouldn't have been so harsh on her. Yeah. So the band's back together. Isn't that great? Sure. So you'll go to prom to help us play, right? So much for avoiding it. Fuck me. Guess I don't have much of a choice. You sure about Trish, though? She probably... Oh, you can apologize to her at lunch today. What? Why in the seven fucks would I apologize to her? The janitors have stopped washing my locker since it just gets more dicks drawn on it every day. There's more dicks on my locker than in a pride parade, for fuck's sake. It's easier than just letting it boil, right? You should be more willing to forgive people. Come on, we both have limited friend groups. We can't afford to burn bridges when we could just accept things, right? When she puts it like that, well, fine. But how she put it? Maybe it's just me, but she seems a little frantic. Thank you so much. I'll start looking for a good suit to wear. Suit? Fang yanks her phones out and starts looking through an online catalog of androgynous formal wear. No! She is no longer trad. Oh, that can't be a good sign. Highlight of our time here at Volcano High, indeed. Later that night, after school, Fang texts me. Alright, I got a plan. A plan? To make sure the concert goes off without a hitch. First, we need to learn right from the source. Source. There's an old museum of fine arts doing a special exhibit on music next week. Oh, and I guess we're not going to go to the aquarium either. Lots of stories of bands pulling through last minute, right? If we study from those old guys, we're guaranteed to do great. Oh God. Is it really that simple? Sure. We're going to learn how old bands did well. We're going to play our music at prom. Everyone's going to love us, and it's going to be great. That's a lot of gonnas. And you're going to come with me. What about Trish and Reed? Send them to a bunch of old record shops to cover more ground. So it'll be just the two of us. Sounds like a plan. Meet me at the Galleria at 3, right? I'll be there. I put my phone down and look around my room. Do you need the dress special to go to museums? Not sure if that would be good enough. It's probably fine. I shouldn't be getting so worked up. I get to spend the whole day with Fang after all. It's not going to go that well, is it? The Fine Arts Museum turns out to be a relatively modern building right in the middle of the Galleria. Exactly the last kind of place I would expect Fang to be seen at. I almost regret my decision not to wear my dirty dress clothes before seeing Fang already waiting for me by the entrance. Seeing me approach, she drops her cigarette and grinds the butt to ash under her heel. Took you long enough. Here's your one chance. Don't fuck it up. Kept you waiting, huh? You're such a dork. Come on, the music exhibit is inside. Thankfully, admission to the museum was free. She leads me by the hand through the front doors, and I immediately feel the temperature fall at least 10 degrees. Are museums always this cold? The music exhibit is all the way in the back of the museum, past several rooms of extract modern art. What a bunch of junk. What, you don't want to buy a painting made with dino egg yolks and whites for $10 million? What a steal! What about a sheet of paper with an URL to a picture of a fridge for 50 grand? You're messing with me. I'll show you when we get out of here. That better not be based on anything real. We reached the exhibit hall with the big words, "The Stygi Muldrix Experience," hanging over the door. Despite it being a limited time event, on the life and times of a famous musician, there's only a few dozen people here. Finally, you get ready to take notes. Notes? Fang grabs me by the forearm and rushes the two of us into the exhibit. Once inside, she gives me her phone. Take pictures of everything for me, alright? Do what now? Alright. Let's start with, She scans the room briefly before pointing giddily to a guitar hanging inside of a case. Despite being several decades old, the guitar was clearly well looked after. The lacquer on the wood gleamed under the spotlights, and the metal didn't have a speck of rust on it. Ooh, that. What is it? She sprints over to the case, and I have to catch up, making sure I don't drop her phone. It's Stygi's famous guitar. It's actually a right-handed piece, but Stygi was left-handed, but couldn't afford a lefty guitar, so he restrung a regular one so he could play it. This guitar was the one he used on his last show at an informal gig in some jazz club in London, a few days before he bit it while ODing on drugs. That's pretty cool. I caught maybe half of that. Either way, I snapped several pictures from various angles, while Fang continues her sermon. What's next? She drags me along to the next display case, a few vacuum-sealed pages with various scribblings on them. And these are some letters he hand-wrote to his father. If my dad wasn't such an asshole, he could have pulled some strings and let us play in the precinct. I tried keeping up with her ramblings while taking pictures, but somewhere along the way I lose her in the trysting corridors. Oops. I stand in place looking around a bit, but she's nowhere in sight. She can't have gone far. I guess I'll keep taking pictures of things. My eyes are drawn to a monitor on the wall playing documentary footage. It was a clip of Stygi playing the national anthem as a protest song or something. Sounded kinda cool, I'll give him that much. That's a good find, Annan. Fang's voice makes me jump as she reappears out of nowhere. Maybe we could play something like that. Show us as a champion of the common man. My thoughts exactly. Glad I could help. Saw some good stuff in the next row over, so we can go check that out too. She drags me away from the screen to whatever it is she wants me to take inspiration from. I'm glad she's having fun and all, but I wish this was more of a date than a research assignment. But I guess she'd feel the same way if I bombarded her with anime. She has her interests and I have mine. Maybe after this, I can take her to a restaurant. We're in a city, but there's bound to be something relatively cheap nearby. It'd be nice talking about the pictures and things we've been talking over some burgers. It's only 4:30 now. It'll be about dinner time by the time we get out too. Pretty decent timing. Sounds like a good plan. Fang drags me around a few more exhibits, cataloging the various paraphernalia and stopping occasionally to obsess over some minor detail. Eventually, we loop back around to the entrance. Fang looks back at the room we just came from. You about ready to go? Maybe, just trying to think if we missed anything. I'm pretty sure we got everything. You could probably reconstruct the entire exhibit using only these pictures I took. I guess, just can't have this part of the plan go wrong, you know? About that, I'm still not sure what your plan is meant to... Wait! She dashes off back into the room we just came in, leaving my words dangling from my mouth. While I'm gone, her phone buzzes. Hey, are you ready to meet up like you said we would? Zoom zoom. What? It says these ebonics come from Trish, but I didn't know they were meeting up later. This'll throw a huge wrench into my plan earlier. Alright, sorry, I'm back. What was that about? Had to hit up the gift shop. Oh. That explains the fuck-ugly tie-dye monstrosity tied around her head crest. You got a text from Trish, I think. I hand her back her phone. That's right, I told her read that we'd meet up after we were done with everything. I see. So I'll tell her we should meet at... Actually, Fang, hold on a second. Before we all meet together, do you want to stop by a restaurant or something, just the two of us? She thinks to herself for a moment and smiles. Of course, I dragged you along this whole time after all. Don't worry about it. I think I can get us something from that taco truck I saw on the way in. I'll tell Trish to wait a bit. Instead of Fang dragging me through the museum, we walked out casually, hand in hand. I think I saw that truck a block east from here. By the way, do you take polo or asada or what on your taco? Please don't say Wait. She stops dead in her tracks, head jerked to the side. Look. I peer to where she's pointing. Some poster on the museum wall. It's an advertisement for a documentary playing in the museum's mini theater. And it's a documentary on Stiggy Muldrix. I didn't see this on the way in. We have to see that too. But what about... I know, I'm sorry. Her eyes plead with me for mercy. Just bear with me a while longer. It's not like that truck's going anywhere, at least. Yeah, well, let's go. Oh, thank you. I know it means a lot to you. The next showing is in 5 minutes. I'm being dragged inside. I guess seeing a movie with Fang isn't the worst thing in the world. Well, this sucks. I feel my stomach grumble for what feels like the 50th time, once again regretting not even buying an oversized bag of popcorn. Overpriced. Stealthily as I could, I checked the time on my phone before the light can distract anyone else. It's been 36 minutes since the documentary started. Only a few more to go before I can escape. I glance over at Fang, who has been so engrossed in the film that she hasn't so much as looked at me this entire time. Resigning myself to my fate, my eyes return to the screen, which is currently going on about Stiggy's 4th unfinished studio album. How exciting. I would have just slept through it if I knew Fang wouldn't be upset with me. Not just because of how interested she was in Stiggy Muldrix, but because I wouldn't be taking notes. As the screen fades and the lights turn back on, I silently thank Raptor Jesus for ending my 40-minute torment. That was really good. A lot of ideas for the band. Yeah, it was cool. Just please get me out of here. Now about that food truck. I told Trish and Reed that we would meet at the Gallery of Food Court. We can get something to eat there. Really not looking forward to being anywhere near Trish, but food is food. Food. Part of me just wants to call the date here and go home. Not that it was ever much of a date to begin with. Alright, let's go then. At least I can talk to Reed about Rock Ring or something. Fang smiles and leads me back out of the museum and towards the food court. I still think this is a bad idea. I'm still not over what Trish did, and I doubt her mind has changed much either. Stop being grumpy. You're just hungry. For fuck's sake. Fang, someone filled my locker with a shit ton of hentai they printed out last week. It's not okay. That's just some dumbass at school. We can get some food and it'll be fine. We round the corner and I immediately lock onto a certain Triceratops. Those fucking shades. Trish and Reed were already eating at one of the tables. Fuck that. I'm gonna go get something to eat first. You want anything? I'm good, not that hungry. Extra order of fries it is. I split off from Fang to find a place to get food from. I glance over my shoulder to see Fang saying something and hugging Trish, both of them turning to look over at me. Trish looking significantly less enthused than Fang, no surprise there. I stand in line for a Cretaceous fried chicken stand and order my food, savoring every moment I wait and don't have to interact with Trish. The moment doesn't last long and I walk over to the table, food in hand. I take the seat between Fang and Reed, which puts me straight across the table from Trish. Of fucking course. I place the basket of fries in front of Fang and she immediately starts digging in. So much for not being hungry. Reed gives me a thumbs up, wearing his giant oversized sunglasses again. While Trish is making a face somewhere in between judgmental and open contempt. So what took you so long? He wasn't wasting your time again, was he, Fang? Well, time to clock out of that conversation. I'm sure they can have a riveting discussion without me. It's just one meal after all. I can ignore Trish for an hour and then Fang and I can leave. Digging into my basket of chicken tendies, I pull out my phone and head straight to the Armenian Graphic Design Forum. There's another grug snack thread. I'll look forward to my playthrough of Bug Snacks whenever that is. We haven't stopped thinking about bug snacks, have we, boys? So I can shitpost in to pass the time. Every once in a while I'll look up from my phone and catch Trish giving me a death glare before turning to look back at the others. Before long my train of thought is broken by Fang saying something. So what do you think? Yeah, that sound good? Sounds good. Great, we can try Trish's new song in the next rehearsal. Trish looks smug. What did I agree to? Look at that smug bitch. I'm surprised you agreed to that. I would have thought you wanted us to play some smug anime song instead. She's just loving this, isn't she? Hey man, that sounds kind of fun. Trish, Reed is quelled by Trish's sneer. You know what? I don't care anymore. Maybe, but let's talk about that later. I'm craving a milkshake. Fang gets up and turns to a nearby smoothie booth, leaving me here to deal with these. My life is like a video game, trying hard to beat the stage, all while collecting coins. So, Annan. Her grin is just short of vicious. So happy you agreed to my idea. Guess you're starting to get some good taste. Better than any of that weeb pop trash you got on your phone. I pointedly ignore her. She's trying to get a rise out of me. Maybe I'll make a somebody out of you, too. Maybe. My fist clenches tightly beneath the table. Let's say it's not worth it. I can see it now. The rain is gone. Her stupid horn jammed right in her eye. I sigh. My fist unfurls. Yeah, sure, whatever. God, this was a waste of a day. Normally I would just love spending time with Fang, but she's been so preoccupied with the band lately, I don't even know why she needed me today when all she did was drag me around. And now being anywhere near Trish is the cherry in the shit sundae. Fang returns a few moments later with a milkshake in her hand. What I miss? Just talking to White Knight about his taste in music. Fuck this. I can't deal with this no mo. I just got a text from the post office. Says my dad's prom suit came, and I just wanted to get there before it closed. Sorry to do this, Fang. I gotta go. See you at school tomorrow. I hate lying to Fang this way, but I can't stand being around Trish anymore. It wasn't anything I did, was it? Everything's fine. I just wanted to be ready for prom in your show. That seemed to put her at ease. We still have a bunch to talk about for the show. See you tomorrow, then. Peace, dude. I love you, Fang. Reed's a total bro. Bros before hoes, man. Bros before dino hoes. I give Fang a reassuring hug. And promptly head towards the bus stop, not missing Trish's dumb smug face as I pass her. God damn it. 1 month later, it's prom night. And there she is. Fang comes downstairs in a fancy get-up. Uh, it's certainly less traditional than mine. No less flattering, though. Legs for days and days. I was hoping you would wear the dress I bought you, sweetheart. This is better. It's gender-neutral formal wear. Looks more like she took some dickies and made them into some booty shorts. Not that I'm complaining. The word plump is quite apt right now. Oh, Fang, that's an interesting outfit you're wearing. Naomi side-eyes me a dagger. Thought you'd be wearing some kind of dress. Nah, dresses aren't my style. I see. Well, your outfit certainly pairs well with Anna's. I love your dress too. You look just like a giant pink dildo. Lucy! Oh. What did I say about that? I already told you my name is Fang. Fang's mom just sighs. Sorry, Fang, but please, you don't need to use that kind of language towards guests. Whatever. Maybe we should just go. I'm not sharing a ride with her. Well, if you insist, Fang, before you go, can I speak with you for a second? Before I can even say anything, Naomi's dragging me by the shoulder into the kitchen. She gives me a death stare for seems like a solid minute before she begins yelling at me. What the hell's your problem? I think this is the first time I've ever heard Naomi raise her voice or even swear. How the fuck did you manage to make Fang worse? What the hell are you talking about? Fang begins to somehow look even more earth-shatteringly mad. I thought you were going to make her better. What the fuck do you mean, make her better? It's like you didn't even try to help her. I did the best I could, okay? I certainly did more than whatever you've ever done for her. And you know what? She's her own person. If she's happy, I'm happy. Naomi's face of sheer anger quickly turns into disgust. I can't believe you. You really don't get it. Naomi sighs and walks away, shoving it into my shoulder on the way out, completely disregarding my presence. Just get out of here. The conversation's over. I can hear Fang arguing with her parents in the other room, with Naomi not yelling at me anymore. I place my hands into my pockets, turn around, and head back into the foyer. My walking slows, and the hall feels like it stretches onward for miles. Could Naomi be right about Fang? No, she can't be right. Like, if you're constantly arguing with your parents, she sees that Nazer's worn out by it, It comes from somewhere, I guess. Fang is happy with herself for once. The arguing from the other room quickly and very loudly breaks my train of thought, and I stride back to where everybody is gathered. That's no way to talk to your mother, young lady. I'm not a fucking lady, Dad. Naomi's leaned against the wall next to the entry to that hall. She turns to me with an expression of very intently restrained rage on her face. Did I really do this, Naomi? Maybe you should leave before this turns into a fight. Naomi's words were cold but probably true. Fang looked ready to set her house on fire until she caught me in the corner of her eye. Without a word, she grabbed me by the wrist and dragged me through the front door, guitar in her other hand. Call a taxi or something. We sit on the curb in silence until our ride arrives. It's the same velociraptor driver from before, of course it is. Open the door as Fang, as she fits her guitar in the back seat. It's my favorite couple again. How's the leg again? The driver chuckles at his own remark. We're doing fine. Take us to Volcano High prom, I'm guessing. You two high school sweethearts should stay safe out there. Crazy world out there, isn't it? I guess. Not too much partying, yeah? You sure you guys are going to prom? We're sure, if you say so. The cab starts down the street at what it was exactly twice the speed limit. The engine is surprisingly quiet and leaves the silence awkward between the three of us. In the mirror, the driver's eyes start showing a bit of concern. He glances towards the radio. Please don't. He gives a disappointed look through the reflection. You kids You feel like stopping by a restaurant or something by any chance? I know a good Chinese place around here. I can wait outside if you two want to. You know, I won't even add on to the bill. I'm on a schedule. We'll pass. No, thank you. Sure. The driver sighs a little. Eventually the cab pulls up to the school gymnasium, illuminated by the celebratory decorative string lights. Fang opens her wallet to pay the toll. You know what? That's out in the house this time, kids. Really? Yeah, sure. Just have fun, you know, and if you need a cab again, you know the number. We know. Get lost. See ya. The taxi pulls away from the curb and rounds the corner back into the main road. We still got about an hour before Spears told us to be on. Sounds like we got plenty of time. You'd be surprised. Come on. Consider carrying the guitar case forward, but Fang is already a couple yards ahead, power walking to prom. Fang leads the way to the school's gymnasium. Her shoulders are tense and her wings are raised higher than usual. I pick up the pace and try to catch up, but Fang's long legs only moved faster. What song are you going to play? Just something simple, and me and Trish rode up. Why? Just curious about what's going to knock the prom out of the park. What about Reed? He was busy. The two of us go up to the entrance, the room filled with seniors, strobe lights, and a very suspicious-smelling fog. Reed and Trish were over in a corner, both with red solo cups. I didn't need to question what was in Reed's. Reed noticed us first and waved us over. Yo, buddy, how's it going? Ready to see us kill it up on the stage? Yeah, man, Fang said you guys were gonna keep it pretty simple with what's up there. Yeah, I don't want to do anything super complex, just want to keep it simple and cool for these guys. When are you guys starting? 45 minutes. Shit, I thought we were later than that. We need to start getting prepped. We hauled ass to Mr. Jingo's room where the band had stored their gear. Reed's drum set was in pieces and I helped him reassemble it while Trish and Fang tuned their guitars. Twang. Shit. I dropped the snare drum I was holding. Fang's guitar string had snapped. Trish and Fang looked devastated. Don't you have a spare? At home. There's got to be some here. Reed, look around. You don't have time. What? But a spare guitar, maybe? We do not have the time. Look, me and Reed can... You're not helping. We just need to focus right now. Just go outside so we can figure something out. Her words cut straight through me. She's really kicking me out right now. Please? Reed is silent and I catch a glimpse of a smirking, specious triceratops. Clever girl. I begin to formulate a response, but just manage a small nod. Yeah, sure. Fang hasn't yelled at me like that since the beginning of the semester. But playing at prom seemed pretty important to Fang, and who am I to interfere with that? I didn't even want to be here in the first place, but I'm following Mo's advice and supporting Fang, right? The music slams into me as I re-enter the room, grating on my ears and thrumming roughly in my chest. Trying hard to save the girl. A quick pass of the punch bowl and I find the ideal spot. In the darkened corner where I can support the wall with my back and sip on my cheap punch. My feet grow sore as I observe the other seniors having fun. Please do the thing, do the thing. Every now and then one of them would point at me and snicker. I wish I was at home playing video games. I simply hide my face behind my solo cup and try to drown out their judging eyes behind sugary water. Enjoying yourself? I nearly choke on the fruit punch. Principal Spears, you're chaperoning? I wouldn't ask any of the facility to look after you lot. You enjoying your prom? Could be worse. Where's your date? I thought I saw the two of you together. Let's see if it says anything different. I don't have... I don't even have to load. Going great. Thought I saw the two of you enter. Weren't you all getting ready in the music room? We were. Something came up. She asked me to leave. Fang did. Yeah, I was just getting in the way. I see. The two of us stare into the crowd's mindless frolicking in silence. Seems there's something else on your mind, Annan. I can tell these things. Not really, it's just that I'm respecting her boundaries. Are you sure that's really what's going on here? Here we go. Back when I was in the game, I learned a thing or two about. I sigh and tune out the massive man standing next to me. I swirl the punch in my cup around before chugging the last of it. I just want to go home. Responsibility and take it seriously. Relationships are a give and take sort of deal. Got it? I'll keep that in mind. The principal sighs and leaves me. Everyone moves out of his way as he cuts his way across the room to the small stage. The music fades until all that's left is chatter. Spears takes to the stage with mic in hand for once. Alright everyone, before we end tonight's prom, we have a couple of items to take care of. First thing is, the principal pulls a tiny gold sheath envelope from his lapel and holds it up for the audience to gawk at. To announce prom king and queen. If this is a foregone conclusion, congratulating Nazar as he's led by the arm by his handler. Blah blah blah. Pressing one of the myriads of buttons on the block. To close off this wonderful night, I've asked a student to play a few bops for us. Some boops and bops. They've had their trials earlier in the year, but I think everyone deserves a second chance. Please welcome Verm Drama. The audience's applauses decrease noticeably. Wait, again? He was there last time, wasn't he? I'll just start recording. Yeah, screw him. Fang will show them how much they all improved. I should be memorizing their faces now to make their dumbstruck expressions all that much sweeter. I know Fang can pull this off. Nothing will go wrong. Totally. Fang wheels a drum kit on stage on a dolly, and Trish follows with her bass. And then Fang comes on with her bass as well. No. No. They couldn't find a new string. They're just going to repeat the first concert. What were they thinking?
It sucking fucks, it fucking sucks, it fucking blows, it's a piece of shit, and I don't like it.
The three finish making last-minute preparations and give an anxious look at one another. For a brief moment, Fang looks me straight in the eyes. I think we all know what's about to happen. The band doesn't bother introducing themselves. Instead, Trish begins plucking her bass. It all went tumbling down, tumbling down, tumbling down from the hair. Just like before, Fang's bass sounds horrifically wrong. Far too heavy. She's a guitarist using a fucking jazz bass. Of course it sounds horrid. And then the vocals kicked in. Reed's lyrical expertise was not on display here. No, they sounded like they came from an edgy teen's Twitter page. Its horrific screeching combined with the melodious shredding on a bass, creating a cacophony equal to hundreds of cats ritualistically sacrificed. They still fucking suck after 6 months. The crowd's cautious cheers were long gone, replaced by a symphony of ridicule. The band's already accepted their fate, both basses hanging limply from their shoulder straps. Then a few students start chucking balled up tissues at their heads. Reed puts his hands on Trish's shoulder, and the two duck out. Fang stays a moment longer, the despair on her face manifesting through hot streams of tears. She turns to leave as well, trying to maintain a calm composure. Then a student throws their red plastic cup of punch on stage. It splashes against her head, drenching her suit in red dye and making her smash onto the floor. A few more food articles follow while Fang scrambles to get up. Shakily, she tries walking off stage again, only to be met with another makeshift water balloon. The back of her suit shines a dull red in the stage lights, and she struggles to not slip again. You would think Principal Spears would do something about that. Okay, never mind. Spears rushes on stage and throws his coat over Fang. Nazer was about to jump off the stage and tackle someone, except Naomi had her arms around his waist. Enough! The room goes completely silent, aside from the sounds of Fang's sprinting footsteps and sobbing. Spears' laser gaze is directed at me. He jams his thumb in the direction of the exit Fang just took. I slip out the side door towards the music room once again. Trish and Reed were sitting in the far corner of the room, and Fang was nowhere to be seen. Hey, man. Great, what do you want? Fang's not here, dude. Where'd she go? Probably the auditorium. To be alone. We're doing fine, too. Not that you care, asshole. You're right, Trish. What? I don't care. I need to find Fang now. That was uncalled for. And so is this. Slam. It felt so satisfying to slam the door in their useless faces. Rita did not deserve any of that. I turn around and leave, flipping off Trish through the window as I go. She probably blames me for the show going wrong too. That I sabotaged Fang's guitar because it would make Trish look bad or something. I run to the auditorium with only the sound of my footsteps echoing through the hallway. I stop at the foyer to catch my breath. My hands rest on the door, ready to push it open. What do I even say to her? Just bear with it, you still have friends. All of that's terrible. At the same time, I can't just stall here. I push open the door softly. The light spills through the foyer into the darkened chamber. Spears' jacket is thrown over one of the seats near me. The door shuts behind me, leaving me in the dark. I can only stand in the night-veiled room for my eyes to adjust. From somewhere in the room, a faint sobbing echoes. You alright? Great opener. Fantastic. I mean, are you gonna be alright? The sobbing continues for a bit longer. I slowly follow her voice down the aisle, using the chairs as my guide. Don't you have your phone? You can just use the flashlight, but whatever. By this point, I can vaguely make out Fang sitting at the bottom of the stage. Fang? I'm standing before her now, and my eyes have just adjusted enough to make out some details of Fang's face, such as her eyes looking off. Fang? I didn't fuck up. Huh? I didn't fuck up, right, Annan? Now, you did your best up there. Fang's voice started to take on a hiss. Yeah, it's all their fault, right? Whose? Who the fuck else? Nazer and that bitch. Fucking Naomi, she ruined this. She caused this all. If she had never come into my life, if she was never around Nazer, if... Fang. That startles Fang, making her mouth click shut. Forget about all that. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. It doesn't matter at all. She and her stupid plan don't fucking matter. Her eyes have finally focused enough to make out the smashed bass at... My eyes have finally focused enough to make out the smashed bass at Fang's feet. I ignore it, instead reaching out for Fang's shoulder. Ow. Hey, I want you to do something for me, alright? Just repeat after me. Alright? She doesn't look at me, but nods her head a bit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The hiss is back, but I ignore it. It doesn't matter. See, you feel better, right? I guess. Thanks, Annan. Good. So, I don't want to be here. Yeah. Do you need me to walk you home? Actually, can I stay at your place? I don't want to see Nazer right now. I can feel my face practically glow at that thought. Sure, of course. Come on, let's go home, Fang. When I enter my apartment, I remove my suit jacket and toss it on the floor unceremoniously. I loosen the tie, but don't bother to take it all the way off. Fang collapses in my cot without a word. Guess I'm sleeping on the floor tonight. You going to sleep already? Nope. I frown as I see her hair sticky and clinging to her dumb dress shirt. Maybe you should take a shower, at least rinse the punch off. I think I got some clothes for you. Okay. Fang gets up from my bed and trudges over to my bathroom. Clothes. I open my closet and look at all my identical jackets. Oh, fuck. Bulk buying seemed like a good idea at the time. I guess he took the Charlie White approach to fashion. I take the spare dress shirt Dad sent me. It's super baggy, even on me. I think this was from that time I tried to cosplay. I shudder at the memory. I take that and some board shorts from my closet and kick it shut. I think this should... wait. Wings and tail. Some minutes later with my knife and I hear the shower sputter to a stop. I knock on the door and set the custom cut outfit on the floor for her. I set a change of clothes for you. I yell if you need me to do some more cutting. With that, I go back to my bed and consider what to do next. Maybe a movie or something? What would cheer her up? Thanks. Fang plops down next to me, the hoodie falling down to her knees and hiding the shorts I gave her. Let's just go through the whole thing. The hoodie falling down to her knees and hiding the shorts I gave her. If only she weren't so depressed, she'd look really cute right now. So, want to do something? Play a game or something? I don't know. I don't want to sleep yet. Sure. Fuck me sideways. What do I have that's presentable to someone else? I got Kingdom. My sanctuary, oh, where fears and lies melt away. No. Dark Soul, no. She might like Dark Souls. Senran. I feel retarded for even considering it. Fuck no. I'll just go with Rock Ring, that always calms you down. Don't get many opportunities these days to use the Duke anyways. I boot up the X-Rocks and insert the Rock Ring 2 disc. A Fang flips over to the TV as I take my spot on the floor sitting next to her. Oh, what a picture. This one's my favorite Rock Ring story. I let the campaign intro play and turn to Fang. She's just blankly staring at the screen, probably still thinking about earlier. You all want to play first? Might help take your mind off of things. Fang lets out a muffled sigh. I can just watch. I decided to skip the cutscenes and get right in the gameplay. Repelling a bunch of dinosaurs from the volcano caves. Easy enough. Playing with a torch and rock combo is the easiest way to kill enemies. Takes more skill than using a spear thrower at least. Yeah, cool. You said something about Naomi having a plan earlier. What did you mean by that? Shit. I gotta tread real carefully here. Thing is, you know when I just transferred in and everything? Yeah? Well, Naomi kept... It's nothing. Forget I said anything. Fang sits up and is eye level with me. It's not nothing. What did she do? Now's not a good time. We should talk about it later. Fang grabs me by the shirt collar with shaking fists. Tell me. I can't, Fang. Get a hold of yourself. Whoa! She jumps to her feet, carrying my shirt with her and lurching my head with it. Holy shit. Damn it, Annan, what have you been planning with Naomi? Her free hand raises into a slashing position, clenched into a claw so her nails protrude like razors. Tell me or she put me with you. All at once, Fang loses all energy in her body. Her grip on my collar loosens and her clawed hand lowers. All the tension has moved directly to her face. I don't think I've ever seen such a look of hopeless despair. After what feels like a year of silence, I get the courage to stand again. Naomi made it so the two of us were together. Nazer's always worrying about you, so she wanted to get his full attention by trying to have someone fix you. Fang's hands cradle her head as though squeezing it hard enough would wake her up from this nightmare. Fang, I didn't have any control over it. I really do have feelings for you. I genuinely like you. It doesn't matter what Naomi's stupid plans are. We still... Out of nowhere, Fang's energy returns into a fit of unrepressed rage. Whoa, goddamn. Holy shit. That stupid bitch. That goddamn slut. Fang, calm down. Just calm down a little bit. Shut the fuck up. You literal, actual tool. Fang, with no intention to vent her frustrations verbally, resorts to the next best thing. Physical therapy. The bedsheets are quickly discarded to the other side of the room in a clump. Fang, please. Fang is convulsing as though possessed, frantically looking for other things to ruin. With a swift kick, the dude is catapulted into the bathroom. Calm down, don't break anything. She starts kicking and punching the nearby shelf with all her might. Fang, stop, you'll hurt yourself. My pleas are ignored. Instead, all I get are continued desperate grunts as she tries to pummel the wooden door. Fang, really, you need to stop. With one last scream, she punches clean through the shelf's cabinet door, leaving a hole about the size of a football. That's enough. While Fang is recoiling, I take the moment to grab her by the wrist and rush her over to sit on the bed. Just plump your little butt down there, alright? Alright. Tears are streaming down her face as I shift my grip to her arms. I can't even fall in love without her interfering with it. You don't like me, you just wanted to change me into something I'm not just to get Naomi off your back. That's not true, Fang. Listen to me. I do love... The force makes me stumble back several feet. Luckily, I managed to regain my balance before falling on my ass. I raise my hands in a basic CQC stance. You took me away from my friends. You ruined our band. What the hell are you talking about? I haven't done any of that. Well, Naomi is, and you're just doing whatever Naomi wants. Well, then maybe Naomi had a point. A deafening silence permeates the room, like what I was saying earlier. The malice radiating from Fang is as tense as a razor. Eventually, the weight of the situation causes her to collapse into the bed completely. Between sobs, Fang tries squealing out more of her argument. Just shut up. Here's a reality, Fang. There are things about you that need fixing. That much I can agree with Naomi. And clearly, I can't help you there. Fang's body tremors with her sobs. Shit, was I too harsh on her? Fang, I'm sorry. You're right, I took you away from your friends and all that. I caused all this. No, you wish. That would be too much of an honor for you. The phase cuts to the bone. I retrieve the bedsheets from the floor. Look, you're tired, I'm tired, let's just sleep and think it over tomorrow. As I drape the blanket over her shoulders, she reaches out to squeeze my hand. I do love you, Fang. She lets go. Good night. Fang curls into my blanket, staring at the wall away from me. I hit the light switch and lie down across the room from the bed. I'd use the felt blankets that exist in every house, but frankly I'd rather just sleep in my clothes. The moonlight leaking through the curtain gives enough visibility for me to see Fang still silently weeping. I watch from afar until her breathing becomes slow and rhythmic. The sore only achievable in a deep sleep. What am I supposed to do about her? I'll talk with her more about it in the morning. For now, let's just get some shut-eye. My heavy eyelids practically glue themselves shut, and I'm asleep within 5 minutes. I wake up the next morning with my head cradled in my arms. My back aches from the lack of proper bedding, but that's hardly anything new. Groggily, I pull myself to my feet. I pull back the curtain to reveal that a thick Sunday fog had rolled in overnight. What time is it? Guess I'll check my phone. 10 a.m., huh? I slept a while. Did Fang sleep well? Fang, you up? The bed is empty. Oh, wait a second. My phone has 70 missed calls and over 100 texts from Nazer. That's right, my phone was on silent last night for prom. He's probably just worried about Fang, but by Raptor Jesus is writing up, man. I opened the most recent voicemail. By Raptor Jesus' left testicle, if Fang is not home within the hour, I will hunt you down and mount your head on my trophy wall. You will rue the day that... Next one. Maybe I didn't make myself fucking clear. You will be sleeping with the fishes. You will be sleeping with the fishes if Lucy is not home in the morning. I have a particular set of skills. I'm starting to get the idea. All the texts are written in a similar vein. I tried texting Fang to see if she got home safe. You alright? Just noticed your dad was pretty livid last night. You must have been writing all night long. No immediate response. She'll see it when she sees it. Not like I can do much else for Fang right now. I take note of the mess that Fang created, a reminder of how badly I fucked up. Fuck me, so this is what they mean by prom night disasters. I always thought it was just a euphemism for teen pregnancies. There's laminate something, splinters all over the floor from my dresser, and a check inside my bathroom reveals that the Duke managed to crack my porcelain throne. No way am I getting my deposit back now. I check the controller carefully, only barely relieved that there's no damage. After I've swept up the bits of broken dresser, I find that I have no real clue what to do. A check of my phone again shows that Fang has at least seen my text. I sigh. How do I make this up to her? I feel like a fucking heel right now. It'll take my mind off things right now. Master Grug, you mind telling me what you're doing on that boat? Hooga booga, finish this fight. Guess I'll play the next one. I really don't feel like doing anything else today. Wake Grug when you see Grug. Really wish I could just float away in an iceberg like Master Grug after last night. I glance at my phone and realize I spent 10 hours playing Rock Ring. My mind was turned off for most of that. Guess I just lost track of time. I'm shaken from my thoughts by a knock at my door. The door I forgot to lock. I'm gonna be murdered, butchered, my body parts sold on the black market, and turned into some disgusting Rhinorex's sex toys. Hopefully in that order. Before I can search for my knife, the door opens to reveal... Dang. You okay? Hey. Why are you huddled in the fetal position? Oh, thank fuck. I deflate, slumping lifelessly on my bed. I thought your dad was here to kill me. Yeah, sorry. Fang sets her backpack down on the kitchen table. So, shit, should have actually thought about what I should say to her. About last night. It's fine. What? I don't blame you for what happened. What? In fact, I'm sorry for overreacting last night. There's something about this that's just setting off alarms in my head. I don't know what kind, though, or why. What? I said I'm sorry. I shouldn't have blown up on you like last night. Even if it was my fault, I should have... It isn't. But my words are cut off, my mind goes completely blank. Fang's hand grips my dirty dress shirt tightly as her beak presses against my parted lips, her tongue invading my mouth. Are we finally gonna get some lewd images? She pulls away abruptly, leaving me confused and lightheaded. What? Her hands guide me down into my bed, and she straddles my lap. Sometime in the night, the bed shifts. I hear the bathroom door close, so I pay it no mind and drift back to sleep. Eventually, my internal clock wakes me up. Stretching and yawning, realizing that it's a lot brighter than normal. Did I sleep in? The alarm clock on my table has been unplugged. I reach over to grab my phone to check the time. 9:02 a.m. Fang and I are beyond late. Where is Fang? Her backpack is gone too. She went to school without me? I rush to put my clothes on and get out the door as soon as possible. About halfway there, my phone buzzes in my pocket. Unread text from Fang. Control over my life you denied, and now death approaches from the sky. Why did it be me you had to vilify? I guess this is goodbye Volcano High. The cryptic message stops me in my tracks. Something is definitely wrong. This reads almost reads like a manifesto of some sort. The adrenaline pushes my feet back into a desperate bolt towards the school. This whole time, my mind floods with horrid worst-case scenarios. I tell myself I'm just worried, but my mad sprint betrays the lie. As I approach the school, I notice a crowd through the haze. Surely it's just a drill. The deceit is shattered when I see the crowd consist of students huddling and crying, with teachers quietly making sure everyone is accounted for. Where's Fang? She has to be in this crowd. There's just a fire in the school that scared people. She's in this crowd somewhere. You. I actually did not expect them to go that route. I really didn't expect it. But after she gets made fun of like that twice, in that particular manner, I guess you could go that route. The voice calls out through the silence for all to hear. Trish moves to stand a dozen feet in front of me on the pavement, a shaky finger directing malice towards me. She's red-faced, streams of tears running the mascara down her face. Why did you come here? Blurred heads turn to the commotion. You bastard! Why couldn't you just leave us alone? Now just look what happened. Look at what you've done. Are you happy? I can't say anything. Is this really happening? Leave us already. You show up, get their attention, and now... She chucks her phone through the air. It misses by inches and smashes on the ground somewhere behind me. I was right about you the whole time. I was right about you. By now her tirade becomes incomprehensible screaming. A teacher has to hold her back and try directing her to a nearby curb to sit. I don't have time for this. Where's Fang? I gotta get in that building. I turn around and dash away into the fog as Trish is being consoled by a group of students. The side door is still unlocked and I'm able to slip in without being noticed. The halls are silent despite it all. My footsteps clatter through the empty halls. It's third period now. Fang always talks about having to deal with Naomi in econ. It's not on this floor. Fuck. I pause when I reach the stairwell upwards. I can't say for sure what, but my instincts are screaming at me not to go up, to turn back now. I can't. My hand lightly glides along the handrail, while I cautiously cross the stairs to the second floor. The first thing that hits me is the smell. That electric, almost metallic stench of wet ozone. I've never been in a real fight before, but even so, It's a smell everyone instinctively knows. I couldn't tell what sound I made, because I frankly don't remember. All I will ever remember from this is the sight of my former classmates splattered across the halls like bags of waste. The spills and trails of blood tell the story of their final moments. Did she have help from Maxie, or what? Two were trying to run and still remain face down in their final resting places. One slumped from a locker, smearing his remnants all the way down like a puppet string, and the last one who tried fighting back now clumped in the middle of the hallway, soaked in the collective pooling blood. It was Nazer. This isn't real. None of this is real. I'm just having a nightmare after last night's episode. Things are just fine. I'll return to reality soon. Please. God damn it. Where's Fang? I just need to find her. There's one open door in the hall, the one closest to the battlefield. I already know I'm not gonna see her. Fang hasn't been in that room since she started. The only thing in here is the huddled corpse of our student council president. Guess she didn't get that perfect high school life in the end. The stairs. There's only one place she can be. One place where she'd go. When I turn back to the stairwell, something makes a wet thud behind me. Somehow, Nazer's still alive. He moved his arm in my direction and still has the strength to move a bit. His eyes meet mine for a moment. Disappointment. Sorrow. Mourning. I can't focus on him. He's got seconds left. Anything I tried would just be a waste of time. His hand makes a wet slap against the hard tiles one last time before I start up the stairs. Somehow the remaining 2 flights of stairs have gained several hundred steps. I haven't seen who it was yet. It might not be her. You know well it can only be her. How could I have known this would have happened? This isn't my fault. I had just as much of a hand in this as she did. You had just as much a hand in this as she did. Fang isn't here. She's at home being grilled by her father for seeing me again. She's behind that door with a loaded gun. How long have I been standing here staring at the doorknob? How much longer could I get away with putting it off? As it is, it's not the worst case scenario. Even if Nazer and Naomi are gone. There's a chance it's not Fang up here. I'd rather just stand here forever, relishing in the possibility that there's some hope left. However, time stops for no one. Not even me. The police sirens have been outside for a while. I can't ignore them any longer. I owe Fang this much at least. The doorknob is still cold in my hand. I turn it and exit to the rooftop. In the dense morning fog, the only thing to stand out is the silhouette. One that I can easily recognize. Fang. She did all that with a handgun? Goddamn. Woof. She's silent. I can't even tell if she's looking at me or not. Fang, please say something. My legs feel leaden as I approach her. Fang, come on, this is all. Slowly more and more details come too. The revolver that hung limply from her fingers. The splatter of blood on her pants. Her wings with multiple bald patches on them. And the sound of her ragged breaths. Fang. My fingers brush against her shoulder. Hot, searing pain. My left leg crumples under me. As I fall, I see Fang's beautiful amber eyes. They're red and puffy, with makeupless tears running freely down her cheeks. Hannon, why are you... Fang, why? You weren't supposed to be here. You shouldn't have come here. Because I love you. Ugh. I struggle to balance on my left leg. The hole in my shin dribbles blood down to the floor. I don't care, though. I hobble forward. Fang steps back. Stay back. The revolver clatters against the concrete, spent on ammo. Fang, please. A painful step forward. She takes another back. Annan, just come downstairs with me. It's not over. It doesn't have to be this way. With a crunch, my shin gives out completely, lurching me forward onto my hands and knees. I have to keep going, even if it's on my knees. I can feel myself slowing. My thoughts cloudy. The blood loss. The pain is so intense, however. It brings some clarity to my mind. Enough that I can drag myself forward. Please come down with me. Oh God, stop. The sharp bone pokes and tears through my leg muscle. I briefly look behind me. The trail is spilling out and making my other leg wet. Bile rises up my throat at the sight. I swallow hard and look back to Fang. I have to reach her. I can still fix this. I can still save her. Fang keeps backing away as I try to get closer, remaining out of my reach. Fang stops and catches her balance. Her foot is halfway over the edge. We've reached the edge of the rooftop. End of the line. Fang, look at me. Her head shakily turns to the concrete below to meet my eyes again. Oh my Lord. Back away from there, please. It's not over. Stay with me. Here, please. Don't leave me alone. We stare for an eternity, all through the police is screaming below. Fang looks below once more, down the 3-story drop to the walkway below. The walkway we'd passed through so many times to get to classes without a second thought. The walkway we crossed daily with our friends all through our trials. Please. She looks at me again, less shakily this time. The sides of her mouth curl into a warm smile. The last of her tears falls. She jumps. Fang, I can't look over. I don't want to see it. The authorities betray my final wish of death by bursting through the door at that exact minute. I drift into unconsciousness where they start wrapping my leg. 3 weeks pass, probably. All I can remember is the sterile hospital room and an endless lineup of reporters. The whole incident made national news. Apparently I had become the praised soul who took a bullet to stop a school shooting. But to everyone I know, I'm just the one who caused all this. After I refused to answer the constant pestering enough, I was finally left in blissful solitude. I expected a visit from Spears or Reed or Stella or someone, but they never came. I got discharged just yesterday. I'll need to stay on a crutch for a few months, but that's hardly the wound I'm worried about. Her funeral was today. I wasn't invited, of course, but I can't just leave it either. So I wait out of sight several hundreds of feet away for the remaining family members to trickle out of the crowd and go home. The last figure lingers for over an hour. If anyone, he's the one who deserved this the least. He was right the whole time about me, and here I am, defiling her grave with my presence. Eventually he too leaves. The alterations of footsteps and the crutch make me feel more mechanical than human. Then again, that may be true regardless of having a crutch. The two graves are right next to each other. Various flowers pollute the fresh mounds. In memory of Nazar, loving son and brother. I'm sorry, man. I hobble over to the other headstone. Here lies dearest Lucy. Heaven restores you in light. God damn it. This is all my fault. None of this would have happened if I had noticed something was wrong. If I just supported Fang more instead of getting into a fight. If I never got between her and her friends by telling her how I felt. If I never bothered Fang and just stayed to myself. If I never moved to VOLCANO in the first place. Fuck. And because of me, Naomi and Nazar and Fang and the others are gone. All because I'm too fucking stupid to see any of the warning signs. I should be crying right now. I should be screaming to the world why I should have died instead. But instead I just feel my final plea to Fang races through my head. Don't leave me alone. And I just feel completely and utterly and hopelessly alone. The sprinkling rain stops. It seems the world is tired of my monologuing. Like Trish said, I'm just some nobody from the middle of nowhere. And the only person I ever cared about is gone. The split second I thought I was somebody, I ruined everything. So now I'm back to being nobody. It's better this way. Bowling for Volcano High.
Yeah, I'm fine. Except, it's a terrible day for rain.
What do you mean? It's not raining.
Yes, it is.
Oh, so it is. Why don't we head back? It's getting chilly out here.